This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
And the pitch is swung on, hit the right field, hit deep. Whitefield going back at the track, over his head, and over the wall. Do you believe that?
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Ramirez with a drive to deep right, away back, goal!
Hey, gets a bomb out there by the Rocks. And boy, oh boy, this third inning is now showtime.
It is a Judgian blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to spin rates to game-changing moments. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us next from the town, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of A's Cast Live, the final A's Cast Live from the field, because tomorrow we'll be up in the treehouse for happy hour. Joe Boyle, a big right-hander from Notre Dame, is going to be on the program right after batting practice. It's our once every year. We get Clay Wood once a year. He says, you get me once, you pick when it is, and we get him today, the great Clay Wood, who, Scott Emerson, let's be honest, they say this is arguably the best playing surface in all of baseball.
Yeah, 100%. You look at this field, the ground balls are true. It's just a beautiful place to come every day and sit in the dugout and watch a great baseball game, and the field is outstanding.
Well, this is the pitching coach for your Oakland Athletics, and he's going to lead us off today. Congratulations on a season where you taught your butt off. And I think people forget, we think of big league coaches as you guys roll the balls out, you walk around during batting practice. It's the big leagues. Guys don't need to be taught. There's not a lot of learning going on there. You sit behind the pitchers, you have sunflower seeds and watch bullpens. That's not how it goes. I've watched you, and I know a lot of people are not going to talk about it, but I've watched the effort. That's why I say congratulations, because your effort this year and the amount of teaching that I've seen, so then you times that times two out on the road, you put a lot of work in this year, and I just want to tell you, great job.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, it's the guys are working their butts off, and I got a lot of support around the organization from our analysts and the front office that pretty much gives me the freedom to try to get these guys better each and every day. And our bullpen coach, Mike McCarthy, and Marcus Jensen, our catching coach, and the skipper Mark Kotze, who a lot. It's a lot of input. It's just you got to listen. You got to be a good listener. You got to listen to the players. You always tell them, I don't work for you. You don't work for me. We work together to get you to be the best pitcher that you can possibly be. And that's compiling the data, understanding them. I think that's the most important part. You don't want to be a drop down in their toolbar, and you got to have the ability to let them speak and understand who they are, who they want to be, what they want to do, and then give them some guidance to what we think they are and what we think they should be doing, and then collaborate it out and bring the best out of everybody. And I think next year is going to be the year we're really going to see what we're learning. We can teach guys till we're blue in the face, but at the end of the day, it's how much they can process and how much they can learn. And then there's some guys you give big data to and big information to, and there's some guys you got to dummy it down a little bit. Doesn't mean they don't understand it. It just means that there's small pieces that they take. And, when you're building a pitcher, it's really, not about how to build them for quick, instant success. It's building them for long sustainability. Can they do this over the long haul? Can they build a routine? Can they throw quality strikes? Do they understand pitching? Do they understand how their ball moves? Who are you? I think that's one thing I like asking our guys sometimes. Who are you? And let them give me the feedback.
Yeah. How do you compete? It doesn't matter what sport you're in. Like, where do you fit? Right now, football's going on. Everybody talks about, how big football is. Well, in the football world, where do you complement the offense? Where do you complement the defense? How do you help this team win? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And that's one of the things that when we sat here and talked to Shea Langoliers about all the different pitchers he's have to learn, well, that's all the different pitchers that you have to teach, that you have to make better. And you got guys coming in and out and in and out. The great Mickey Morabito, our traveling secretary, has been on the phone with Southwest more than any traveling secretary ever. And he said this is the record amount of flights that I've ever booked. So what is it like dealing with all these pitchers, and a lot of pitchers you don't even know how long they're going to be here?
Well, it's no doubt that our catching core, Shea and Tyler and Carlos, they've had a real tough job because now they got to keep getting some pitchers and understanding what they like to do. And sometimes you don't even know what they're good at until they're here in the big leagues. You know, we get all their data and what they like to do in the minor leagues and who they are. But when they get to the big leagues, sometimes it changes. Sometimes it alters it. Like, hey, you might need to throw more fastballs. You might need to throw more changeups. You might need to throw more breaking balls. If you look at like Luis Medina, we added a sinker to him this year. We added a slider to him this year. We've cut down on his walks from the minor leagues to the big leagues. And we're just trying to get him to throw more strikes and gain that success and that confidence. And then next year, it's going to be a little bit more about the quality of those pitches. So, you know the famous saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So, you're just grinding it. Okay, can we do one thing at a time? And I always talk about, when you have big tech and you got a lot of data, and you're throwing out, hey, can you do this? Can you bat whip your sinker? Can you front door your cutter? Those are Hall of Fame type pitches. The best in the world did that, but they did that over time. And right now with data, guys are trying maybe to do a little bit too much too soon in their career. And right now it's about just filling up the strike zone. Get strike one. Let's move on. And, I think it's very important that these guys first understand who they are first. They're building that foundation. They're building a repeatable mechanics. They're building who they are. And, I was quoted the other day as you can't, decorate the inside of your house until you build the house. Right. So you have to build that house before you can go put up the TVs and put in the unbelievable stove and all that stuff. So the guys have to understand who they are first. And once they understand who they are first and what they can do, then they can start adding. But I'm a true believer. You got to be able to throw strikes before you can start adding other things.
So I can't decorate my home until I build the walls and the foundation.
Yeah, because you don't know what it's going to look like.
You do know that in all these interviews, when you say Rome was not built in a day, we have all these drops in the postgame show. So when the callers call up and complain, we'll throw these things out there because callers can be upset when we throw you out. Rome wasn't built in a day. We play your drops all the time in the postgame.
Well, that's
you
good.
Speak knowledge. We play your knowledge in the postgame.
Well, everybody has an opinion, which is awesome. And, we just try to do the best we can.
All right, biomechanics. We hear a lot about that in sports. If you watch a lot of golf, it really so much of the technology that we use today was stuff I talk about all the time was brought into golf years ago. And the reason why is because they're trying to sell clubs. That's the business. You're trying to prove why the clubs work. So they've done a lot. They started using TrackMan in the 80s, for God's sakes. Baseball. You imagine trying to use TrackMan in baseball in the 80s? I mean, my God.
Well, what people don't really know and can't remember is or don't know that we had one of the first portable TrackMans in 2011 at Papago Park in our bullpen, and we had it mounted, but it melted. So it was one of those. It was early stages of the portable TrackMan, and you just left it up overnight, and the pole and the TrackMan part melted, and there went portable TrackMan. You had to come up with a better idea.
So you had TrackMan 2011?
2011.
That's an early adapter, as they would say.
Yeah, we were using this technology. It might have been 2012, but we were using the technology at least 10 years ago.
So you got the other day, you have your lab set up, and you got the cameras all around the pitcher, Edgetronics or whatever they're called. And, we've talked about Rapsodos, we talked about Hawkeye, all these different stuff. But now, forget metrics. We're looking at how the body moves. And we look at it from all different angles. And everybody's body's tall, short, right, left. Everybody's body moves differently. And now the key is to find out for each player the body movement that helps throw them the ball the best. That's the new science we're in. We're not looking at sabermetric stuff anymore. So much of it's biomechanics, if you can kind of talk us through that.
Well, I think biomechanics too much has become a part of a cookie cutting. I think when you think of biomechanics, too many people think of this is exactly how you have to do it. Where, in my opinion, biomechanics is this is how you do it. This is how we can help you do it efficiently or better. Everything works, per se from the ground up. Shoulder to hip separation. Your pelvis is going to rotate, then your trunk's going to rotate, and then your elbow is going to go out, and then you're going to have internal rotation of your shoulder to throw the ball forward. So those are the four major sequences to your pitching mechanics. Now, how fast does your pelvis move? How fast does your trunk move? How fast does your arm move? Those are other things that are measured as well. Then you have what's called motor preferences. And I've been big into studying motor preferences over the last 4 years. There's horizontal and vertical athletes. If you're trying to get a guy who's a vertical athlete to stay in the ground longer, you're doing him a disservice, right? He works for more what we call bounce from the top to the bottom. But, in today's world, we're only talking about one way, and that's from the ground up. That's not necessarily the case if you're looking at somebody's motor preference. And believe me, this stuff is going to pop out and be way better information over the next 4 years than ever before. And there's some great people out there that are motor preference experts and that I've been learning from, that understand that not everybody is a drop and drive type pitcher, that there are guys that are tall and fall. Everybody has their own style. Yes, we're going to use the ground, but how do we use the ground? And what I mean by the aerial guys, they're called terrestrials and aerials. Terrestrials are guys that use the ground more. They're more rotated guys. And aerial guys are more vertical athletes. They're more up and down. They might have more of a jump out or a push, but they depend more on snap, top to bottom, rather than lower half. So, everybody's going to have shoulder to hip separation. Some guys are going to have greater shoulder to hip separation than others. Some are going to move it faster than others and sequence it better than others. And some guys are going to have what we call snap. And a lot of it depends on your thoracic spine, whether you're a high mobility mover or you're a low mobility mover in your thoracic spine.
No doubt.
So, you can't have one guy who's supposed to be tall and fall, a tall guy. Look, I'm 6'6". I live up. I see the strike zone way down. A 6-foot pitcher is more on plane with the strike zone. He's going to be flattened out more. He's going to see the strike zone a little bit lower. He's probably going to be more terrestrial, where I'm guaranteed an aerial guy. I'm working more top to bottom. I'm depending on my spine and my snap and my finish more than my shoulder to hip separation. So, no one's really talking about this right now, but in Europe and sports, and especially soccer in Europe, most teams have a motor preference expert that helps you identify what profile you are. And that's the next phase of baseball, in my opinion, that'll be here soon.
Yeah, the whole thoracic spine thing, I had no idea until I started looking into it when I saw it being taught in golf lessons about how you turn around your lower spine, right, to help keep from getting a back injury. And we talk so much, it doesn't matter the sport. You can even go to hockey. When you see the guys, they wind up the stick, they're digging their skates into the ice. They're using the ground, which is the ice. They're digging in the ice and firing the puck. So much power comes from leverage from the ground in all sports. But as you're saying, some guys use it differently, and I just wonder, it's hard to put, I'm not going to put you and JP Sears in the same box because you guys are, one guy's shorter, one guy's taller, but do we see a consistency that shorter guys, especially shorter hitters too, they like Mike Trout, so short and come back, but you see how he leverages the ground with his legs. The difference between basically shorter athletes and taller athletes.
Yeah, 100%. When look, like I said, I'm 6'6". I don't want to do squats. I don't want to put a lot of weight and bend all the way down. I got to go much farther than anybody else to attain a good squat, right? Doesn't mean I can't do it. It just doesn't. It means my body doesn't like to do it, right? So if you're putting your body in poor positions to throw the baseball, you're putting yourself at risk to not only not be able to throw quality strikes, but put yourself at an injury risk as well.
Wow, we just always thought you basketball guys were kind of lazy.
Maybe a little bit.
Oh, man. I love talking about this kind of stuff because it really is the new frontier. And I'm wondering how much of the biomechanics are also a part of how do we keep our guys healthy? Because the strategy of them throwing harder but we're now going to have them throw less. Isn't working. Guys are still getting hurt.
Well, there's way more to, how the body moves than just biomechanics. The biomechanics, basically, a lot of it too is just measuring the skeleton, measuring how the skeleton is moving. Well, there's ligaments, there's tendons, there's fascia. There's a lot of things. There's muscles. There's a lot of things that we're not 100% on. But, our biomechanist, Ethan Stewart, does a great job of using the information that we get and predicting, a lot of stuff. And he does a great job with it. So, it's really good to have a biomechanist on staff that I can go and talk to, and we can collaborate on mechanics of, if we keep doing this, the predictability could lead to injury. And then there's also, well, this guy is dominating the strike zone. How much do we change somebody who, obviously, guys that throw really hard are at an injury risk, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to tell them, hey, stop throwing hard. You're just not going to do it. Now we're just going to, and if they're pounding the strike zone, it's hard to tell them, hey, stop throwing hard and pounding the strike zone. Your arm's late. But there are guys that we're trying to work with to put them in better positions.
Yeah, I think of the guy that's going to be the big question mark. And when I talk about your staff going forward, I'm already, JP Sears I want to get into. I think hitting the 30 start mark was huge for him, this organization, in a lot of different ways. We'll get to that. And then about Paul Blackburn. And we're now looking at Medina. When we start talking about guys that can really help going into next year, we're going to have Joe Boyle on the show in a little bit. But I think about Mason Miller. It is a lot of teams, you draft a kid, his velocity's through the roof. He hasn't proven to stay healthy. How do you keep him healthy? We think he's a starter. I don't know if that's his future. Like, what are your thoughts on Mason Miller, and how do you get the most out of him to help you win games? And the key to that is keeping him healthy.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to see over the next 10 days, and what we're trying to evaluate over the last month with him is getting him out there, first of all. And then we'll move into the off season and see how the off season rolls with him. And then we'll collaborate in spring training or before spring training to really set, what is best for Mason Miller. And that's a conversation that we got to have with everybody in our baseball department. And, I'm sure, we're going to come up with the best plan for him, not only for him, but for us to help us win baseball games.
I think about JP Sears, that 30 start mark. Since we're not going to get a lot of innings now like we used to out of pitchers, I think that's huge. I think it's huge for JP. I think it's huge to see it for the rest of the staff. I think it's huge for the minor leaguers. When he shows up to spring training, everybody's going to know that guy started 30 games last year. Just talk about getting to that 30 start mark, what that means for JP Sears and the organization.
Yeah, it's always great to see guys post up every time they can post up. And, that's a testament to our strength and conditioning department led by Josh Cuffey, and in our athletic training department, Brian Schulman, Brad LaRosa, and Jeff Collins, and Elliot. They're out there just, grinding on these guys to keep them healthy. Our massage therapists. It's just, it's a total team effort to get this guy, and all starters who've done it. A few years ago, we of course we had 3 guys make every single start, and Bassett was the only one that didn't make every start because he got hit by the liner in Chicago. But that's what you want. You want to be able to send these guys out. You want them to be able to post up each and every day. Have they been feeling great every start? No. But that's what's called the big leagues, workload management. Yeah, I like it. I understand it. And, we know what it is. But being a big leaguer is being a guy that can post up every 5 days and start.
Yes.
And being a big leaguer is having relievers being able to be ready to pitch as often as possible. That's my definite. This guy's big league. He takes the ball when needed. And that's what you want.
All right, let's end on this. I know you got to get out of here. What will you say to everybody? This is the last time we're going to talk to you before the end of the season, which, by the way, I want it on record. You said before the start of the show, you love the baseball playoffs. We do shows during the baseball playoffs, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You would like to be on a lot of those shows just to break down what's going on in the playoffs.
I said I'd come on with you, Tony. Yes.
We have it on. We have it on audio. We have it on video. We're going to get you on a contract on that.
All right. Sounds good.
What will you say? What's the message that you tell the guys heading into this offseason?
Well, next year we're expected to win. we want to go out there and win. The training wheels are off. The excuses are off. The rookie status is off. And, we want to come in and expect who you are. That's what I really want to know from these guys next year is when they show up to spring training and we start the next season, here we go. This is what this guy does for us. This is what exactly he gives us. This is who he is. And I think it's important that they know who they are and we know who they are and they know who they are. You go out there and JP Sears is expected to make his starts. JP Sears is going to be expected to get us into the 6th inning. JP, keep the game close. And that's kind of what you want from everybody. You want to know what you're getting when they take the mound.
Well, we got to thank you on a lot of fronts because I don't think there is a pitching coach that's on every single series that we have you on A's Total Access, brought to you by Chevron, our pregame show. I love the rotation. As much as I always love the Bob Guerin show every day, I think it's better that we have the manager, the pitching coach, the hitting coach, so we really get an idea of what's going on with the big league club on all facets, what you've done for us here on A's Cast Live. You give us more time and more knowledge than any pitching coach in all of Major League Baseball. We may be hearing some podcasts that you've been coming on, but you're very open about what's going on and what you guys are working on. We can't thank you enough for what you give us. Another great season, and just truly from Cody and I, what you do for us is awesome.
Well, what you guys do to bring the content to the fans, and not only A's fans but baseball fans, is awesome. And to be like one of a kind out there is great, and it's great for the organization. And we're just going to keep on grinding and keep on battling, and keep on getting guys, the best that they can be.
Coming up next, I'm still angry about 12 and 13 about the Tigers.
Yeah,
I haven't let it go yet.
Yeah.
Is this like a revenge series? Can we call this a revenge series?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bring back Verlander and Scherzer and Price and Porcello.
We need Steven Vogt for that base hit, right?
Yeah. How about Coco?
Coco Crisp, yeah.
How about Balfour Rage? Victor Martinez to get back into it.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Huh? That was some good times.
Yeah.
We're getting angry at the Tigers next right here on A's Cast Live.
Hey, it's Eno Saris, your friendly neighborhood baseball scribe. There are two things I love, baseball and beer. When I'm not busy around the ballpark, you'll likely catch me back with a cold one at any of Fieldwork Brewing's 8 locations sprinkled across the Bay Area. Fieldwork's got a rotating lineup of over 20 beers on tap that's as diverse as any 26-man roster. They got everything from super juicy hazy IPAs to crisp pilsners and tropical sours that make your taste buds do the wave. Whether you're all about that draft life or prefer to grab some cans to go, Fieldwork's got your bases covered. Check them out at fieldworkbrewing.com to learn more. That's fieldworkbrewing.com.
This is Chris Townsend and Commander Cody for Link Soul. The new summer colors and prints are in stock. The new polos, lightweight, all the colors you want. Fabulous. We got our new order.
My wife is so happy that I'm dressing so much better, all thanks to Link Soul.
You name it, whether it's polos, whether it's shorts, anything for your summer needs, you need to revamp your wardrobe. You go to linksoul.com and they got great summer deals. Go to linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com.
Watch parties aren't what they used to be ever since we got Xfinity. Now that kids can easily stream all their favorite stuff, they just have to worry about what's on the charcuterie board.
Are these just cut up hot dogs and spray cheese?
The best way to stream your favorites is on the Xfinity 10G network. Now through September 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years when you add Xfinity Mobile. Plus, add Now TV for $20 a month. Switch today. Requires paperless bill and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile and Now TV require Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular rate supply. Actual speeds vary.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Chevron with Techron has unbeatable engine cleaning power, and it gives you unbeatable mileage for all kinds of unbeatable destinations, like time in the sun at the beach, or time in the sun riding roller coasters, or a day in the sun hiking mountains. Well, probably just one mountain would be enough for a day, but hiking a mountain is still an unbeatable choice for how to spend time. Download the Chevron app now to get unbeatable mileage at locations near you.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Summertime is golf time in the Bay Area, and that means it's time to enjoy the beautiful vistas, 27 holes of championship golf, and all the amenities that Cinnabar Hills Golf Club has to offer. Cinnabar Hills gives you a variety on the course and in their amazing grill. They're ready to give you an incredible experience for any family, business, or social gathering. Nestled in the quiet hills of San Jose, summertime fun awaits you at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club. Learn more at cinnabarhills.com. That's cinnabarhills.com.
And the underdog Oakland Athletics win their first championship since they were in Philadelphia in 1930.
Hi, I'm Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer, three-time World Series champion with the Oakland A's and World Series MVP. Winning takes teamwork, skill, and heart. So when you need an ace for a personal injury lawyer that will win you the game, go with the winning team. Call Venardi Zerata at 833-VZ for me or go to vzlawfirm.com. Venardi Serrata, the official injury law firm of the Oakland A's.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
If you're looking for the latest green and gold gear for the 2023 season, then look no further than athletics.com/shop for your officially licensed gear. That's athletics.com/shop.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Is convenience a state of mind or a real thing? At Extra Mile, it's a real thing, and it's in everything they do. The stores are spacious, organized, clean, and well lit, so you can get in quickly, get what you need, and keep going. It's just what you'd expect from a place serving up the hot and fresh food and snacks you love. So treat you right, and check out Extra Mile's fresh take on the convenience store experience. Extra Mile convenience stores at select Chevron and Texaco locations.
Calling all kids. It's Kids Cheer Free all summer long. Bring your kids ages 14 and under to the ballpark on Sunday home games for free. After cheering on your green and gold, race around the bases with Stomper on the same field that your favorite A's players do. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/kidsfree. That's athletics.com/kidsfree.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
Hey, A's fans. You know that running your own business is a slugfest every day. That's why businesses have been counting on Mechanics Bank since 1905. From operating lines of credit to equipment and real estate loans, they can help build your lineup to meet today's challenges and prepare for tomorrow's opportunities. Stop by your local branch or visit mechanicsbank.com today. Mechanics Bank, the official East Bay bank of the Oakland A's. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. All loans subject to program eligibility and credit approval.
Streaming from the East Bay, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Do you realize something is going on that we have never seen before in the history of baseball? And it's our little old American League West. This is the first time 3 teams in the same division are within a half game of each other for first place with 10 games or fewer left to play. Think about that. We've never seen that since division play started in 1969. We have 3 teams that are a half game from each other: Houston, Texas, and Seattle. 10 games left, half game for the division. Never seen this before. It's unbelievable. Odds to win the AL West. Astros, according to Fangraphs, 90.8. I thought that was relatively high.
A little bit, yeah, because they're not playing great lately.
All right, so then they got the Mariners at, who do you think they'd have better, Mariners or Rangers?
Mariners.
You are wrong.
Oh, wow.
Rangers at 64.6 and the Mariners at 60.7. Now, the Rangers and the Mariners are going to play each other 2 different times.
Starting tomorrow.
I find it just fascinating that after everything that we have been through, to where you had the Rangers dominate for so long, the Mariners in this malaise of who are they, we knew that there's always a little bit of a World Series hangover. When's Michael Brantley going to be back for the Astros? Yordan Alvarez got hurt. Altuve got hurt in the WBC. So there was a way to understand and explain why the Astros got out to not such a hot start. Jeff Blummer told us, hey, listen, if you're going to get the Astros, get them early. He was right. So the fact that we are bunched up where we are with 10 games left is unreal how close this division has been.
Yeah, and Rangers Mariners start a series tomorrow. The Astros have a series against the, wait for it, kind of hot Kansas City Royals.
Stop. So, you mean like the red hot Detroit Tigers?
Yeah, well, they don't have Riley Green now.
I'm telling you right now, I am still pissed about 2012 and 2013. I want them all back. Bring smoking Jim Leland back. Let him light up in the dugout. Go get Verlander, Scherzer, Price, Porcello,
Fister,
Victor Martinez. Go get them all.
Well, one of the guys is still here.
What was the guy, the reliever that had the great name for them?
There was
God, what was his name?
Who was their closer then?
No, not the closer. It was a reliever.
I'm picturing him right now, too.
Right-handed.
And he threw hard, right?
No.
Oh, they had got it through really hard for them,
Well, they have Joel Zumaya.
Yeah, Zumaya. That's what I was thinking of.
But who is the guy that they had?
Right,
not Guatemala, but what was his name?
There's Armando Galarraga, the guy that had the perfect game that wasn't.
No, he stunk. Who was the guy? But I don't care. Bring the time. I'm pissed. This is revenge series. We need to take it out on the Detroit Tigers.
Wait, you don't want to celebrate Miguel Cabrera?
No. Wait, we should celebrate him when he was still a decent player. 5 years ago? Wait. Look me up on Baseball Reference. When's the last time Miguel Cabrera was good?
Al Albuquerque?
Al Albuquerque. That I knew it was like a city or a town or Al Albuquerque. We were getting into it with Al Albuquerque. Remember Victor Martinez and Balfour? Because Balfour, that would have been in Detroit. Balfour just screamed and yelled just to scream and yell. And Victor Martinez thinks he's screaming and yelling at him. Next thing you know, we're getting after it with the Tigers in the playoffs. Oh, it was great.
The last great year.
Stephen Vogt, Coco Crisp, walk-off.
Seth Smith.
Oh,
the
good old days.
The last great year Miggy had was in 2016 at age 33. He played in 158 games. He hit 38 bombs, drove in 108, hit 316.
2016?
That was 7 years ago.
What was I doing in 2016?
I don't know what you were doing. I mean, I know what I was doing.
I don't even know what I was doing. It was so long ago.
The Raiders.
I was 95.7 the game.
Same.
My kids were young.
I was married the first time.
You hadn't been divorced yet.
I love that we always just tie that into everything that happened years ago.
I don't. You
No,
do.
I know. Because I can joke about it. It's fine.
I'm just trying to think. That's how long I am tired of this guy should have retired years ago. Years ago. I mean, you want to talk about taking advantage. I mean, this might sound bad. It might. All right, but I'll say it in. Mr. Ilitch, the longtime owner of the Detroit Tigers, the Red Wings.
Yeah, Mike Ilitch, the late Mike Ilitch.
Mr. Ilitch was a very rich man. Pizza makes people a lot of money.
Little Caesars.
And he desperately wanted to win. And he came close. And he was constantly giving out big contracts. It is literally a contract that we, for the last few years, have been going, do you realize how much more money is on Miguel Cabrera's? Miguel Cabrera's has been so bad that his WAR has actually come down.
Yeah, 67.2 in his career. It's negative 0.5 this year.
Now, folks, I want you to think about that. When everybody sits there and says, one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time. Now, it's a stat. WAR is a stat. It accumulates over time. It's not perfect, but it gives you kind of an idea about an all-around player. You're talking about a guy who is supposedly an all-time great, and it's 67.
Yeah, 0.2.
67. It's gone down because he's been so horrific. It's like, I'm over this Miguel Cabrera set. We honored him at the All-Star game last year, and he's back. It's all a cash grab. He's not helping his team. They don't want him anymore. It's like they milked the 3,000 hits, 500 home runs. He hasn't been good in forever. He's a total liability, and he is just, and you can't blame him totally, but he is just, I'm going to get every cent you promised me. I'm going to get every single dollar, and if you want to release me, release me.
I'll give you his numbers real quick this year. Negative 0.5 WAR, 258 average, 3 homers, 31 runs batted in.
Homers! Three!
A 658 OPS, and that's in 306
He's got less home runs than Tony Kemp.
And Nick Allen has more home runs.
Nick Allen has more. Nick Allen has 4?
4.
Nick Allen has more home runs than Miguel Cabrera.
We're on Nick Allen watch, by the way, for inside. I
want you to think about that. And they're paying him, what, $33 million?
Somewhere around there. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, that is literally insane. Nick Allen has more home runs than Miguel Cabrera. And I know blasphemy is a future Hall of Famer. Whatever. I get it. But you know what? It is what it is. I love the Baseball Hall of Fame. I've been there multiple times. I've talked about how my grandfather has stuff in the Hall of Fame. We've been fortunate as a family. They've taken us down into the bowels of the Hall of Fame. I have all the, but I don't sit here and like, Hall of Famers walk on water and can never be criticized. That's a joke. I just, how this thing has ended. Joe Boyle is going to join us right now here on Ace Cast Live, but how this thing has gone with Miguel Cabrera. We should have had this, I don't know, we giving him a bottle of wine or whatever the ceremony. We always give people a bottle of wine, but at some point, we should have done this years ago. This whole celebration. I mean, this is when you've got Nick Allen has more home runs than Miguel Cabrera. That tells you everything you need to know. I was trying to figure out the other day when I'm watching Joe Boyle warm up from our vantage point, trying to figure out what do I need to do to get to like the same height as him for this show. I couldn't figure it out. We're just going to, you're 6'7". I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Well, I tell you what, we're as happy as hell to see you here.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
And one of the reasons why is we heard so much about you when the trade came, and when we're going into the offseason, this is the A's talk show. This is where all the A's fans hang out. We wanted to make sure that we got to see you pitch. So when we talk about you in the offseason, because we're projecting you to be a part of this team next year, the big leagues, just what was it like for you to get that call that you've been traded to the Oakland Athletics, knowing that this place, as we say, is the land of opportunity?
I mean, it's pretty crazy. You know, when you're in baseball, like anything can happen. You expect that, you know, you could get traded and, you know, go anywhere. Like, it's just part of the game, part of the business. But it was crazy. Like, my farm director called me on an off day in Chattanooga, and he was like, "Yep, you got traded. They're gonna get in touch with you. Best of luck." I was like, all right. And then the next day I was on a flight to Midland. So, I mean, it was quick. There was no wasted time.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
But when you know you're going to the A's,
Yeah.
did you know, like, I got a legit shot to get to the big leagues really fast?
I was told that they generally move guys quickly before I got here. That's all I had heard. So, I mean, they didn't tell me anything ahead of time, like, hey, you're going to move quick, or they didn't say anything like that. But I knew that, like, it's the same as it was with the Reds. Like, you throw well, like, I think you're going to earn more opportunities.
So you get called to the big leagues. You're going to make your start. Take us through the process. First start, 3 innings, was fantastic.
Yeah.
Take us through, what was it like?
It was great. They really, like, try to make it special for you on your debut. At least for me, they did, and I was very fortunate and appreciative of that. I mean, I had family come out, like my fiance and my parents, so I had a bunch of friends come out. So that was good to see them afterwards. And, like, but, like, leading up to it, I mean, like, I just made sure to remind myself that it's, like, I'm just going to stick to what I've been doing and stick to my process.
That's hard, though, right? It's your first start in the big league.
It's hard, but, I mean, that's the challenge of the game we play, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason, not many people get here, because it is very hard. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I had. And I look to just keep earning opportunities as I go. But yeah.
You look like you were confident, fastball cutter. We saw some curves. So just take us through your repertoire and what you think best to worst. What do you got? What are you most confident in?
I actually call it a slider instead of a cutter. I think it can classify as both, but I call it a slider. But yeah, just 4-seam slider, curveball. I guess I was more slider heavy, I would say, on Sunday. But I made sure to, like, mix in everything and just kind of just stick to my game plan. Yeah.
So one thing that they talked about with you is throwing strikes. I saw you throw strikes in your debut. What do you think has been in the past with you in the minor leagues where you might have struggled throwing strikes?
Like, what do you think caused it? Is that the question? I don't know. I mean, I think it's a hard game. Obviously, I'm trying to throw strikes when I go out there. I know that the name of the game is getting ahead of guys, attacking hitters, being in the zone consistently. So it was just like it was a process. It was working on going out there with a plan, making adjustments as the game goes on, self-regulating mentally, physically, and and focusing on what I had to do versus, like, trying to battle myself out there and thinking about the wrong things. I think the change that really helped me was being more intentional about what I was thinking about when I was out there. I think that's really what helped me start to turn it around and put together more competitive performances and giving my team a chance to win more consistently.
You're from Kentucky. We all know Kentucky, horse racing and basketball. You're 6'7". How many people tried to push you into basketball, and yet baseball was your love?
All right, so I'm actually not from Kentucky.
Okay.
I was born in Philadelphia. My parents born and raised in Philadelphia. My grandmother still lives there. My aunt and uncle and my cousins still live there. I moved to Louisville from St. Louis before my senior year of high school. So I spent most of grade school and high school in St. Louis, Missouri. Spent senior year in Louisville, and then when I was at Notre Dame, my mom and my parents were still living there, so I'd go back, during winter break and stuff like that. So I was never pushed towards basketball. I mean, I was because I was tall, but not like
everybody. When you're tall, it's like you got to play hoops. You got to play hoops.
Everyone was like, "Yeah, you want to come play basketball?" And I was like,
"Power forward."
yeah, and it was like, "No, I'm just baseball. I'm just baseball."
So did you grow up like an Eagles
fan? Yeah.
Okay, so
my dad's a huge Eagles fan.
Are you all Philly?
Yeah, I'm all Philly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the St. Louis Rams would have still been there when you were growing up.
Yeah, they left when I was there. They left when I was still in St. Louis.
Cardinals, Rams, but you're more Sixers, Eagles, Phillies kind of guy.
Yeah, I grew up a Philly fan, yeah.
Well, Notre Dame right now, Notre Dame football back. Is Notre Dame football back? Big game against Ohio State.
I sure hope so. I mean, like, we'll see. We'll see this weekend, but I'm excited with what they got and how they've been playing, and I mean, it's just cool to be able to root for like a university like that who I guess really every year they try to be competitive and win football games. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they got.
It's Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame's its own national brand. I mean,
oh yeah, 100%.
Not only is the education top notch, but obviously what they've done for all these years. We've always seen Notre Dame come out, whether it's playing SC or Stanford.
Right.
I've had family go to Notre Dame. It's a big deal. It's Notre Dame, right? It's an iconic college. But you don't think Notre Dame baseball, but Notre Dame baseball over the years has gotten far better. Talk about what baseball has been like improving for the Irish.
You know, it was cool to see the progression of Notre Dame baseball. They really didn't start to excel until after I was gone. I was drafted the COVID year, which was the first year for the new coach, Link Jarrett, who took over after my sophomore year. And I got to see them go to the super regionals in 21, and then 22 they went to Omaha. So that was really cool to see that program like win. I had a lot of buddies still on the team, and it was cool to see them make it far. And like I know that like there's so many guys I played with in the past that were rooting for them, and it was exciting. It was exciting to watch that.
I didn't realize you were the 2020 draft. I thought it was before then.
Yeah, no, I was COVID.
You've had. It's hard to explain to people, but your guys' journey is different than anybody that's ever. Because remember, they condensed the draft.
Mm-hmm.
It was only 20 rounds.
5 rounds.
5 rounds, yeah. And then they were able to sign a bunch of people, but you can only sign for a certain amount.
Right.
Just, and then you didn't have really. Did you go to the alternate site?
No, I didn't do anything. I got drafted and
didn't play.
I didn't play. I didn't show up until February of 2021, and I just like was playing catch in a park with my brother. Everything was like, obviously it was COVID. Everything was shut down. So I was kind of on my own. Like the Reds were good with like communicating with us, like, and like pitching coaches reaching out, strength coaches. But like, it was interesting. It was an interesting start to like my pro career.
Well, the most interesting was Garrett Cole's wife was a great player, softball player at UCLA.
Oh, yeah.
And the video of Garrett Cole and his wife was pregnant, playing catch in the park together, just told you about the madness of everything going on. So some guys I've talked to, when you got a lot of wear and tear and a lot of mileage, some guys had as amateur players, that maybe not pitching in 2020 wasn't so bad. It allowed you to kind of get healthy. Where were you on that, where you get drafted and then you got time? Were you able to utilize it, to get a little more healthy? There's a lot of negative to it. Was there any positive to it?
I would say the positive was probably more off the field, like just like spending time with family more. I think that was probably better because like I know that if it was a normal year, I would have went right from the college season to probably short season, and then probably to instructs, and it would have just been crazy. So I had that time to be with family, and like I wasn't in school anymore. In terms of baseball, it was tough. Like you did your best to work on stuff, but like in reality, you don't know what you need to work on until you show up, you pitch, and the game kind of instructs you and teaches you like kind of how you need to evolve to get these better hitters out. So it was that part was tough, but I did my best, like I worked out and like through bullpens and sent video and data and stuff like that. So it wasn't ideal, but made the most of it.
Are you getting another start before the season ends?
I am scheduled to pitch on Saturday. That's what I've been told.
Okay, so what do you think? Let's end on this because we know you got to go. What do you think it means to you, these 2 starts, and then you head to the off season knowing that you've been in the big leagues and now you can train as a guy that has been here before?
I think I'm excited that I get the opportunity to pitch against obviously the best hitters on the planet, arguably. I think that the game will instruct me. It'll tell me, what works, what doesn't. I have an idea. Everyone has an idea of what plays up, what scales up to the big leagues. But this is just a good chance to test it, to go out there and test my process against these, great lineups and learn like what do I need to work on, what small adjustments do I need to make going into the off season. But the off season to off season doesn't. I feel like for me doesn't really change a ton. I have my process. I know what I need to keep working on. I'm never going to be perfect, but it's always that like pursuit of like getting close to like being, as close to perfect as possible.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm excited because now we've gotten to talk to you. We're going to get to watch you pitch. We can talk about what's going to happen. We're going to see you down at spring training, but just congratulations on getting here. I know what that means to you.
Thank you.
And good luck the rest of the way. And we will see you next time we see you. We'll probably be down in Mesa, Arizona for spring training as you're trying to make the big club.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great.
Great stuff. We got more coming up next right here on A's Cast Live. This is Chris Townsend and Commander Cody for Link Soul. You need to redo your wardrobe, especially for summer. They got new colors, new styles. Summer is here. The polos, unbelievable. The shorts, you name it, we got our new order.
My wife is the happiest one out of all of us because I look better, thanks to Link Soul.
And they've got unbelievable deals right now for the summer. So what are you waiting for? Shirts, polos, shorts, you name it. You go to linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Hey, it's Eno Saris, your friendly neighborhood baseball scribe. There are two things I love, baseball and beer. When I'm not busy around the ballpark, you'll likely catch me back with a cold one at any of Fieldwork Brewing's 8 locations sprinkled across the Bay Area. Fieldwork's got a rotating lineup of over 20 beers on tap that's as diverse as any 26-man roster. They got everything from super juicy hazy IPAs to crisp pilsners and tropical sours that make your taste buds do the wave. Whether you're all about that draft life or prefer to grab some cans to go, Fieldwork's got your bases covered. Check them out at fieldworkbrewing.com to learn more. That's fieldworkbrewing.com.
Watch parties aren't what they used to be ever since we got Xfinity. Now the kids can easily stream all their favorite stuff. They just have to worry about what's on the charcuterie board.
Are these just cut up hot dogs and spray cheese?
The best way to stream your favorites is on the Xfinity 10G network. Now through September 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet on the network made for streaming for $25 a month for 2 years when you add Xfinity Mobile. Switch today. Requires pre-postpone and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Unbeatable mileage from Chevron with Techron unlocks all kinds of unbeatable trips. Like to family dinner the next town over. Or to a family wedding the next town over. Or even to a family reunion over the river and through the woods at Grandma's house. Any drive is worth it to see Grandma, especially when you can stop along the way for unbeatable cleaning power from Chevron with Techron. Your engine will be thanking you for making the trip. Download the Chevron app now and find unbeatable mileage near you.
This is Chris Townsend, and if you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see my friends at the Chicken Pie Shop at Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Hey, Billy, this deck is great for getting everyone together.
Thanks. We're really enjoying the outdoor space, especially on a day like today.
What's the material?
Humboldt Redwood from Ashby Lumber. They gave us a great deal, provided us with a quick quote, and we couldn't be happier. We even found a great contractor through their online contractor directory.
Don't miss a day outdoors. Visit Ashby Lumber in Berkeley or Concord to see our stock of naturally strong, naturally beautiful Humboldt Redwood. Find out more at ashbylumber.com for all your building needs. Ashby Lumber.
Summertime is golf time in the Bay Area, and that means it's time to enjoy the beautiful vistas, 27 holes of championship golf, and all the amenities that Cinnabar Hills Golf Club has to offer. Cinnabar Hills gives you a variety on the course and in their amazing grill. They're ready to give you an incredible experience for any family, business, or social gathering. Nestled in the quiet hills of San Jose, summertime fun awaits you at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club. Learn more at cinnabarhills.com. That's cinnabarhills.com.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Calling all kids. It's Kids Cheer Free all summer long. Bring your kids ages 14 and under to the ballpark on Sunday home games for free. After cheering on your green and gold, race around the bases with Stomper on the same field that your favorite A's players do. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/kidsfree. That's athletics.com/kidsfree.
Looking to stay up to date on all things A's? Head over to athletics.com/A'scast. That's athletics.com/A'scast to listen to A's baseball in full 24/7 coverage of the A's, only on A's Cast. With a single click, you can stream great shows, live pre- and post-game coverage, and of course, all the great action of the A's this season. Head to athletics.com/A'scast today.
A's fans, there is no better way to stay in touch with the A's and even our players than following us on social media. Just head over to athletics.com/social. That's athletics.com/social for a full list of our social coverage, from player accounts to Twitter handles and more. Now is the time to stay in touch. Head over to athletics.com/social. That's athletics.com/social today.
A's Cast Live continues from Rickey Henderson Field. Here's Chris Townsend.
All righty, welcome back to A's Cast Live. I'm looking over in the dugout, the great Clay Wood. He's eyeing us down. He's going to be here. We're talking grass. Well, not that kind of grass, a different kind of grass. The grass you play on. We'll do that at 5:15 right here on A's Cast Live. See, that's what you just saw and what you just heard, because we know people are listening and watching. That's what we wanted. Not only from a standpoint of watching him pitch, but we want to talk to him. Who's Joe Boyle? And later on, is it today? Joey Estes did an interview with Vince Cotroneo. And Vince, we're going to put it up on the A's YouTube. Is that today on A's Total Access?
Yep. I'll have that up on YouTube after the show today.
Yeah, we want to know who these guys are. We don't know what makes them tick. Who are they? Because let's face it, there is a chance they will be in the rotation next year, either at the start of the year or at least by some point. I think Boyle, no question. Estes is still really young at 21 years old, but, I mean, if he's able to throw strikes and compete in the strike zone, he's going to have an opportunity. I mean, Ken Korak's got the – where is Korak? He was just here. He's got the list of all these guys. It's Korak's list. We need to get a copy of Korak's list.
I remember looking at – I read something earlier about Joey Estes. He's the youngest A's pitcher to debut since Brett Anderson at 21 years and, like, a certain amount of days.
Well,
so back to 09.
You know why? Because we don't like bringing up young guys. We got to change that. I want more young guys.
What is it in the minor leagues? 500 innings and 1,500 at bats, or whatever that philosophy was that we are always told.
Archaic. It's archaic. These guys are playing more.
Hey, how many bats is the first baseman from the Angels who's got drafted had? Huh?
Zero.
And he's killing the ball right now.
Zero.
Crushing the ball.
These guys are coming up. Zero. Why is nobody getting on board with me about this as a revenge series? I'm still angry about 12 and 13. I mean, why am I the only one?
I know it's 10 years ago, but a lot's changed in 10 years.
Is that 10 years ago?
You know, Detroit hasn't been in the playoffs since 2014, so tied for the longest drought in baseball with?
Yes. Because, Cody, I have the same notes you have.
That's not in there about their playoff drought.
The Tigers have not had a winning season. This will be the 7th consecutive year.
They won the 86 games, I think.
The Tigers have, so I read the notes. They had 7 consecutive years, the second longest streak in club history, and they've been around for over 100 years.
The other team that has made the playoffs, same amount of years as the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
They have the longest streak. But, I mean, and now, I mean, if you're fired up as a Tiger and you get to hear that Jeff Greenberg is named your general manager, is 37 years old.
Do you know where he's from?
I believe they worked together. Where was it?
No, he was the associate GM of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, they worked together with the Cubs, according to these notes.
I love that he was supposed to be the guy that the Pittsburgh Penguins wanted to interview for their GM job. The Blackhawks said no, and now he's the GM of the Detroit Tigers, who their president of baseball ops is the former GM of the San Francisco Giants, Scott Harris.
We told you to read this article. I'll put it up to the camera. If you're listening, I apologize. But this article right here, the Giants are MLB's most boring postseason contenders by the great Tom Verducci. Now, I sent this article out to a lot of different people for a reason. And how you responded to that article tells me a lot about you, right? So if you're a Giants hater, you'll read it that way. If you're somebody like Amelia Schimmel, who we've had this debate over starting pitchers, she just reads it and she said, see, Tom Verducci said wins aren't the most important thing for pitchers. So that means you don't see the forest through the trees. So when I send this out, how you responded tells me a lot about you. Why?
Because it's your perception of baseball.
Kind of tells you,
yeah,
what kind of thinker are you? Are you a big thinker, small thinker? Are you just an angry troll? How do you? Because this article, I could take the Giants out of it, and this has not. I'm not ripping the Giants whatsoever. This has, and I.
Whoa, what's going on here?
I'm a notorious Giants troll, but no, this literally. I could X out the Giants and put another team in there. This has nothing to do with the Giants, even though this article says it's about the Giants. This actually is not about the Giants. This is actually about it's about hiring a 37-year-old Jeff Greenberg to already work with a young guy who was also Scott Harris, who's now president of baseball operations. And you're like, who's Scott Harris? Scott Harris was the nobody GM of the San Francisco Giants that didn't do anything of any note and got hired from Detroit. Detroit hired him from the Giants. No one's ever heard of this guy. What did he come from? Chicago.
He was a Cubs guy, yeah.
Okay, so nobody knows who Scott Harris is. Scott Harris literally could walk on this field today, and no one would have a clue who the hell he is. And he's the president of baseball operations for the Tigers. And they've now hired Jeff Greenberg, who's 37, who you said was working for a hockey team?
Associate GM of the Chicago Blackhawks.
So an associate GM of a hockey team just got hired as a GM of a baseball team. What the hell is going on? Read Tom Verducci's article, and there's only one thing that really matters in this article. It's going to tell you about how the Giants and how they want to play it's their version of Moneyball. If I gave you a Cliff Notes version, it's basically their version of Moneyball.
That and then they use an opener a lot.
That's a new version of Moneyball.
Yeah. Well, the Moneyball, they use starting pitchers.
I said new version of Moneyball. We're trying to do it differently. We're trying to tell you how smart we are. We're trying to take our knowledge and put it on the baseball field. And our knowledge is how we're going to decide how our players play. It's like a game of chess. That's how we're going to play baseball. Say it with me. Do you get it, Cody? It's like the new version of Moneyball.
Yes.
Okay, so you get it.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. It's not working. But the number one thing in this article, it says point blank, but if this is the future of baseball, I want no part of it. Tom Verducci, longtime writer for Sports Illustrated, who now is on baseball games as a color guy and also does studio work for MLB Network. We've had him on the program here. He's phenomenal at what he's done. He's been one of the tops for a long time. Says once again, if this is the future of baseball, I want no part of it because it's boring. The other thing that is probably the second most important part is as the Giants now, because this was written and it talked about how the games in Arizona that they were going to have were big. They lost both the games. They used starting pitchers, real starting pitchers for those two games, lost both. Giants are in trouble, probably not going to make the playoffs. But they are officially 500 for now 2 seasons since they won 107. They are 500. So that's not bad. That means you've won as much as you've lost.
Mediocre.
But you're not losers.
No, you're not winners.
As Tom Cable, who once said famously, after the Raiders went 8-8, what did he say?
We're not losers anymore.
We're not losers anymore. We're 8-8. I maybe need to stop all these Raider references. It's like I need a reboot myself. But here's the thing, folks. They're down 26% with tickets. Now, if my business is down, my business is selling food. If my business is down 26%, I'm calling my brother and I'm flipping out. Like, I'm flying, whether it's to Walnut Creek, chicken pie shop at Walnut Creek, or I'm flying home to San Diego, the San Diego chicken pie shop, and alarm bells are going, and I'm freaking out. How are we selling 26% of our business of sales of food when you're a restaurant or you're a bar or whatever you're selling, you're down 26%? You got problems. You got major problems. Now, obviously, the A's, we have those issues, but our issues, we're different. The Giants, we can go over that, but we're talking about the Giants who are not trying to move out of town. We're talking about the Giants who have their new ballpark. We're talking about the Giants who, I guess we're starting to look at it. Those 3 World Series were a long time ago. They've had one playoff series in 9 years. Would my math be right?
They had a wild card. No, they played against the Cubs too, because they had that wild card win against the Mets, I think, and then they played the Cubs and they lost. The year the Cubs won the World Series.
But that wouldn't have been a series against the Cubs. That would have been a game.
Well, I thought they played a wild card game and then they end up playing a series. Let me double check for you.
So it's 1 or 2 series in 9 years. I know it's 1, right? Because they played the Dodgers in 01.
In 2021, yeah. They played the Dodgers.
So I know that one. Since 2024, how many times have they been to the playoffs?
Let me check. I'm looking right now. 2016 Giants went 87-75. They won the wild card game versus the Mets, and then they lost. So they essentially played in 2 series.
So they played in 2 series then. Okay. And you got those 3 World Series, which fans tell you, I just win 1 World Series. That's all I want. That's all I want in my life is to win the 1 World Series and go to the parade and do all of that. That's what fans tell you, right? Well, then they did it a second time. Then they did it a third time. What happened? All you ever wanted was to win a World Series. All you need is a new building, and you need this, you need that. Your business is down, selling tickets 26%, and it's not like you have gone in the tank. You're in last place. You're at least 500.
Yeah, and that's 2 years after winning 107. I know a lot of people are going to say they don't sign stars, and the world, the Bay Area has changed since COVID, blah blah blah, all that. But if you're down 26%, that's not good.
20%, 26%.
Are the Padres tickets down, and we're still in California?
Padres are having their biggest attendance, well over 3 million. Their biggest of all time. Dodgers will be going over 3 million. They've already gone over 3. Dodgers are the king of attendance. Since the Dodgers have moved west, 1958.
Yeah.
Since the Dodgers have moved west, no one has had better attendance than the Los Angeles. No, more people have attended games, Chavez Ravine, Dodger Stadium, beautiful Dodger Stadium. No one even compares. Now they may show up late and leave early, but no one shows up more than Dodger fans.
Yeah, I mean the Angels. Angels
will be well over 2 million.
Yeah, and their attendance will in. So, but the Giants are down, and I don't. It's a bad look, and
Well, how much is it? Because we kind of did our own internal poll with our friends, and we're talking about these guys. I mean, my guys are all baseball guys. These are guys all played either professionally and college or just college, but they're some of them are coached. I mean, they all can't stand it. My buddies who are Giants fans absolutely hate the way they play. They can't stand it. They say it is a tough watch. How much of it is a tough watch? Because it can't be they've gone in the tank and they're losing, because they haven't gone in the tank. But it just, looking at this article, I mean, could this be the Boston Red Sox? Could this be a lot of teams? the way they play, the way they micromanage, the way they have no feel. I'll never forget when the A's were over there playing against the Giants this year, and it was whoever was pitching had pitched 2 2/3 scoreless baseball, and Gabe Kapler came out to make the move to pitch against Tony Kemp.
Matchups.
You're matching up in the third inning against Tony Kemp
in July.
Moronic. That is no feel. That's more. We win every out. And I understand, and they try, and it sounds good. We win it's for every game. It's for every out. It's for every that. It's like, dude, you're out of your mind. Like that is somebody that has no feel, and I don't want them managing. It's my business. The number one part of your business is the players at the big league level. There's a lot of baseball is a funky business because you've got minor league system, minor league players. You got all this stuff, but the main part of your business is the players on the field at the big league level. And if that's the way you're thinking, and as Tom Verducci says, if this is the future of baseball, I want no part of it. Isn't it amazing that the Giants, forever Giants, they finally win the World Series, all that kind of stuff, all this, everything you have ever wanted as a Giants fan, you have gotten. You got to have the Bonds years. The Bonds years led to Super Berry years, that led to the new ballpark, that led to the home run record, that led to 3 World Series. You got everything you could have. You got a franchise player in Buster Posey. You got everything you possibly could have wanted as a Giants fan. And now you are a micromanaged data machine, and you're down 26% in attendance.
And you're 500 for 2 years after winning 107 games.
But that's not bad.
No. You
have me 500. I mean, I can give you how many games are we under 5? We're 60 games under 500. I'd rather be 500 than 60 games under 500. I mean, you're making 500 sound like they're in the playoff race.
And a lot of the moves the signings they made, like Conforto and Haniger, like they just didn't pan out. Like they were trying to play money, they were doing Moneyball instead of signing guys, and Haniger couldn't stay healthy. Conforto missed the entire year last year. Wait for it. He was injured this year.
And just imagine if they would have actually signed Carlos Correa, who is hurt right now.
There's even like a tear of the plantar
fasciitis or whatever, which they say if you tear it completely, that's better, which he has. I'm not going to try and play a doctor today on A's Cast Live, just today. But yeah, I mean, according to the Giants, if he was signed with the Giants, he'd have 12. You've had nothing but injuries this year with Carlos Correa. You'd have 12 more years on top of this.
Speaking of the Twins, they can clinch the AL Central tonight.
Brewers with the win today. Their magic number is 2.
Yeah, so I believe if Cleveland loses and Detroit loses, they clinch the division, and they're trying to snap the one of the worst playoff streaks I've ever seen, 18 straight losses in the playoffs.
We get him once a year. He's the toughest book of the year. I mean, when I think about who the toughest guys in the history of baseball to book for A's Cast Live, Clay Wood he's basically said, you get me once a year, you pick that time, use it wisely. So we're using it. We're using that card right now. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, Tony. How are you?
This is it. You got 4 left.
4 left. Yep. We're winding down. It's a grind.
It is a grind, and I don't think people understand. I get to see it because doing the post-game show, everybody's gone, and I get to see everything you guys do. I don't think people understand the hours that you guys put in when you show up to when you leave, how much you manicure and baby this beautiful grass throughout the baseball season.
Yeah, the crew just puts in just an immense amount of hours. People have no clue. There are certain people who do, but people that see it, guys that appreciate it. But yeah, the guys are here. They put their heart and soul into this field every single day. It's basically like repeat and rinse every day. We're just doing the same things over and over, trying to keep the field the best it can be, the most consistent it can possibly be for these guys every day. So it's not easy to make a field look like this. And, players leave and they go coach somewhere and they always call back like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? You really, some guys take it for granted. Some guys don't, but I think if you're here every day, you see what it takes to make this happen. It's pretty awesome.
How proud are you that so many players will say that this is the top grass playing surface in all of Major League Baseball?
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to the crew and just the effort that they put in, really. And myself, I'll give the crew all the credit in the world. But, we hear it a lot from visiting players. Just, they love playing here. The consistency of the surface, how flat it is. So we get it a lot. It's not something that we expect, but, it's certainly nice when you hear it, for sure.
How has the world changed for you once the Raiders left?
I think it's really been a whole complete lifestyle change, really. I mean, not just, work wise, but, family time wise and, stress level wise, both physically and mentally. It's really a life-changing event for somebody like me who the first 25 years I was here, I had to deal with both. So, to have it for that many years and then all of a sudden not have it, it's definitely, definitely a lifestyle change for sure.
What's so interesting too, when we talk about how so many people love the playing surface, it's not like this stays here year round. You constantly have to redo it.
Well, we will this year. We're not
no monster trucks.
The major dirt shows are moving back over to San Francisco to Oracle Park. So we'll be able to keep this field, maintain it, not have to rebuild it this year, which is
so this grass will now be here year round.
It will be, for at least this year. We'll see what changes next year, if anything. But,
does that change anything for you?
Yeah, it changes a little bit. Just our approach to the off season, how we maintain it. What we'll have to do throughout the course of the year. We won't have to do a lot. I mean, once the days are getting shorter, things are staying wetter. The grass will go into a little bit of dormancy at some point, so it's not like we're gonna have to mow every day and
it's a winter, yeah.
But we will have to maintain and do some things that we wouldn't do if we were going to cover it with 6,000 yards of dirt, for sure. So
I remember years ago, 49er players would talk about, this is old school, when they would drive in and they were going to play.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody, but they say you come into Candlestick Park, they would look at the bay and they would know whether it was going to be a soggy field at Candlestick or a dry field, right? And which size cleats to wear. We're below sea level.
Right.
How much does that affect the surface on a day-to-day basis?
A lot. People don't, realize, and it's not just, this time of year, you can see the shadows are already covering the field. Days are shorter. The morning we get really long shadows from Mount Davis and the scoreboard and all those things factor into, to how the field plays and playability. Field can, it can change overnight once once fall hits and really what we call the worm turns and like I said, those shorter days, sun angle, all those things, they make a huge difference. And sea level here for sure, being 22 feet below sea level at the playing surface, the tide being in or out, or
do you check the tides?
Yeah, I do check the tides. I don't check them on a daily basis here, more for fishing, but fishing in the
Tough
Delta,
life.
but I mean, it's almost to the point now where, especially in the wintertime, I used to be able to walk across the field and I could tell whether the tide was in and, if that slough behind the stadium would be full of water. I mean, it's just one of those things you get a feel for it. Just
every 12 hours, tide goes in, then goes out.
Just walking across the field. It's it's a unique situation here for sure. Even, the funny thing about Candlestick was it was actually, I think, 9 feet above sea level, but definitely still had some tidal influence. But
it's right on the water.
But right on the water and definitely, but above sea level, and that's the thing here. I think, possibly we're the only stadium in the country that's below sea level, and then being 22 feet, that's a long ways.
Well, you just don't, it's grass. It's a living organism. And that's what I always thought about when I also would do the Raiders shows, and I'd watch you guys take down. I'd watch you set up. I'd watch you take down, whether I was doing A's or Raiders. I got to see all that and how the grass was being suffocated by the stands for the Raiders stands would be out here, or they'd come right out of Mount Davis and you guys would set up. I mean, it was really tough for the grass. So having the playing surface be consistent You know, all those years of playing playoff games still with like this and painting the grass was brutal. It's just nice to have a consistent playing surface.
It is. It's nice not to have to worry about, in July, we have to start, overseeding or prepping or, really we used to have to start altering things in July to prepare for August preseason football. Those days are gone. We don't really have to change a whole lot. Once we start get shorter days, we have to adjust water and things like that. But I mean, really it was, it was like, okay, football's coming. We have to do some things different for, those conversions, which were absolutely, it only took one. That was the thing. You could play 50 baseball games and the field would still be beautiful and play one football game, one conversion. And, the field was never the same after that. I mean, the crew did a great job. We kept it nice. We kept it consistent the best we could, but the field was never the same after that first football conversion. Just it's not possible.
All right, I keep my ear to the ground around this joint. I've been around here a long time.
All right,
concerts, maybe soccer games coming to the Coliseum. How much, like going into next year, how much could that affect the playing service?
It definitely affects it.
How much control do you have with that?
Well, really not much control over whether they do them or not.
Oh yeah.
But
you're not scheduling the concerts?
Yeah. No, there would be no concerts if I was scheduling.
It wasn't Bad Bunny's people calling you up. And
No, we're usually we're usually the last to find out when it comes to some of that stuff. Now with the soccer, that's something that we've been alerted to. That was more of an A's thing, and we were alerted to that early. That could happen in March. I don't think it's a done deal yet, but that's certainly close to baseball, and we'd have to cover the infield dirt with grass, and you have to kind of manipulate those edges for soccer so that they have a smooth transition. So definitely affects, what we're doing here. Soccer's not nearly as invasive as football, but, you have lines out there, you have transitions where you have sod from, soccer on the dirt. So yeah, there are some things to consider. And then concerts, the stages have come a long way. So if they use the modular stage that comes in and cover the, the field with the plastic flooring, concerts aren't as damaging as they used to be. They used to be brutal before the higher quality plastic flooring. Now that, fields in general kind of hold up better to concerts with the newer technology.
All right. I'm going to give you a magic wand. We'll end on this. You could change anything about the Coliseum. Magic wand. Boom. You're like Glinda, the magical, what was she, the magical?
This is so just
you can do anything you want. Anything you want. Magic wand, you get one genie in the bottle.
Look.
Genie comes out, you don't get 3 wishes, you get 1. Anything to this facility, bang, what would you do?
For me, it'd be a new irrigation system. We've had so many issues over the last few years. It's 24 plus years old, and we have mainline breaks, and I mean, I guess, there's so many things you could do to this place.
You get one. You get one.
I'll take a new irrigation system. If they could just do it, just make it happen. I'll take that.
That's it. Cody, what's your one? You get one.
I'd have to think about it. You put me on the spot here. I mean, irrigation.
That's what gas get put on the spot.
Irrigation system is pretty big deal. You got to keep.
You're going to irrigate. Cody's going to irrigation system too.
As a big
what
lawn,
a chump.
as a big lawn guy at my apartment, I have to keep track of the lawn and take care of it.
I'm a big lawn guy.
Now, Townie, what is yours?
Oh, a studio for me. Ace Cast Studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wham! I mean, it'd be
now.
Like
would that be in the treehouse, or would that be?
Oh no, too far away.
Okay.
We're gonna have our own high tech.
I want to sound on the field live during games.
Yeah, you say that now, so you're down here freezing. I want my own studio. I want a multi-million-dollar studio of my own.
Okay.
That's what I want. Brilliance, to bring you the brilliance.
Good stuff.
Instead of your guys running me over all day long here on the field, I want my own studio. That's what I would. I know a lot of people would say Mount Davis. They would just get rid of Mount Davis.
It doesn't serve a purpose like it used to. So, it would certainly free things up a little bit and kind of open up and expand some views again. But Yeah,
You're going irrigation.
I'm going irrigation system.
Irrigation it is. All right, my friend.
Townie, thanks,
One
buddy.
time a year, we get you. Your
Sounds
busy
good.
schedule.
All right.
Well, hey, got any big plans off season? You're done in 4 days.
No big plans. Got a daughter in school, and it's tough to get away for when the kids are in school. So just fishing, golfing, duck hunting, and just.
Is Reba ready to go?
Reba's ready. Yep. Got to get her in a little bit better shape, but she's ready to go. Keep her out of that visiting clubhouse.
How do you get the dog in shape for duck hunting season?
You just run her. You play fetch. She's a retriever. She goes and gets the ball. So
probably, most famous dog in baseball.
I'm gonna say probably. I don't know of a whole lot of other dogs, but yeah, she's a superstar and just a great dog. We love having her around. So
Bob Melvin claims that when he came back this time, Reba remembered him.
I would certainly not doubt that one bit. I mean, when Bob was here, he spent a lot of time with Reba. Every day he'd run the stairs and he'd come down and he'd always have a water bottle. He'd take one sip and then the rest would go to Reba, and they spend 15, 20 minutes just playing fetch and hanging out. And yeah, so that didn't surprise me a bit when he came walking out. She turned around and ran right to him. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise her. She's a smart dog.
How many people talk to you about your dog, and is your dog more popular than you are?
I'm gonna have to say yes. I'd say on an average day, there's probably at least 10 people that say hi to Reba before they say, before they acknowledge me. It's like, oh, Reba, oh, hey Clay, how's it going? Yeah. So I mean that happens daily by a lot of people. So I'm used to it. I think, sometimes my wife does it at home. So that's
Spencer the dog gets way more love than I do at home. Great stuff. Coming up next, we get you ready for the 8. Are you ready? Revenge series for 12 and 13.
Oh, this series?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get back at these SOBs for what happened.
Verlander's not on this team.
I bring him back. Jim Leland can smoke cigarettes in the dugout all he wants. Let's go. Revenge series. That is still I told somebody, I'm like, probably the last time that a manager was smoking cigarettes in a dugout was
that may have
smoking Jim.
May have been. Yep. That might have been the last time.
All righty. We get you ready for Tigers A's next right here on A's Cast Live.
Hey, it's Eno Saris, your friendly neighborhood baseball scribe. There are 2 things I love, baseball and beer. When I'm not busy around the ballpark, you'll likely catch me back with a cold one at any of Fieldwork Brewing's 8 locations sprinkled across the Bay Area. Fieldwork's got a rotating lineup of over 20 beers on tap that's as diverse as any 26-man roster. They got everything from super juicy, hazy IPAs to crisp pilsners and tropical sours that make your taste buds do the wave. Whether you're all about that draft life or prefer to grab some cans to go, Fieldwork's got your bases covered. Check them out at fieldworkbrewing.com to learn more. That's fieldworkbrewing.com.
This is Chris Townsend and Commander Cody for Link Soul. You got to go to their website right now, linksoul.com. The new polos are unbelievable. New colors, lighter weight. We got our new summer shipment, Cody.
I couldn't be happier. I look better, all thanks to Link Soul.
So we're talking about new polos. You can check out their shorts, anything you need for summer. They have it right now. When you go to their website, they've got a smoking summer deal. Go to linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com.
Chevron with Techron has unbeatable engine cleaning power, and it gives you unbeatable mileage for all kinds of unbeatable destinations, like time in the sun at the beach, or time in the sun riding roller coasters, or a day in the sun hiking mountains. Well, probably just one mountain would be enough for a day, but hiking a mountain is still an unbeatable choice for how to spend time. Download the Chevron app now to get unbeatable mileage at locations near you.
Watch parties aren't what they used to be ever since we got Xfinity. Now that kids can easily stream all their favorite stuff, they just have to worry about what's on the charcuterie board.
Are these just cut up hot dogs and spray cheese?
The best way to stream your favorites is on the Xfinity 10G network. Now through September 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years when you add Xfinity Mobile. Plus, add Now TV for $20 a month. Switch today. Requires paperless bill and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile and Now TV require Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular rate supply, actual speeds vary.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try the world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
Summertime is golf time in the Bay Area, and that means it's time to enjoy the beautiful vistas, 27 holes of championship golf, and all the amenities that Cinnabar Hills Golf Club has to offer. Cinnabar Hills gives you a variety on the course and in their amazing grill. They're ready to give you an incredible experience for any family, business, or social gathering. Nestled in the quiet hills of San Jose, summertime fun awaits you at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club. Learn more at cinnabarhills.com. That's cinnabarhills.com.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
And the underdogs, Oakland Athletics, win their first championship since they were in Philadelphia in 1930.
Hi, I'm Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer, three-time World Series champion with the Oakland A's and World Series MVP. Winning takes teamwork, skill, and heart. So when you need an ace for a personal injury lawyer that will win you the game, go with the winning team. Call Venardi Zerata at 833-VZ for me, or go to vzlawfirm.com. Venardi Serrata, the official injury law firm of the Oakland A's.
It's Kids Cheer Free all summer long. Bring your kids ages 14 and younger to the ballpark on Sunday home games for free. After the game, race around the bases with Stomper on the same field that your favorite A's players do. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/kidsfree.
Become an A's insider today. Visit athletics.com/newsletter and sign up to receive the latest team highlights, up-to-date news, features, and more, all delivered free to your inbox. That's athletics.com/newsletter.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
A's Cast Live continues from the town. Here's Chris Townsend.
By the way, before I unseat Shohei Ohtani as the American League MVP, all you Ohtani hacks, Zach Geloff has a 6-game hitting streak. He's hitting .381 during that time, 2 home runs. He could reach 60 career games on Thursday. He's starting today, right? I mean, he could.
Yeah, that's
he
second.
is. 60 career games? What is this? McGuire, Olsen, Canseco?
It was in the notes, MLB notes.
Are the only A's with more homers 13 at this point in their careers?
Does Olsen? I mean, Matt Olsen was on like 2 different stints when he
take me in doubles. Take me in extra base hits. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
and steals. I don't think Mark McGuire was
Zach
stealing.
Geloff. All right, okay? We're gonna. Are you team Towney or are you team Korak here? All right.
Well, I can't just ask for you lay it out.
Yeah, you're either gonna be one of us. Are you going? My comp is Ryan Sandberg. He wants Troy Tulowitzki.
Ooh.
You want Korak or me? Whose camp you in? You want to go Bay Area kid, Fremont High, from down in San Ho?
Yeah.
who was a shortstop at 6'3", or Sandberg is not as tall as Geloff at 6'3", but they play so similar. Power, speed, range, can steal bags. Did Tulo steal bags?
I believe a little bit.
Because Sandberg stole.
This is easy for me, but I'll let you look up Tulo.
I'm going to look up Tulo. So I want to know, are you going Team Korak or Team Tulowitzki? Only the biggest year he ever had was 20 bags. And then the next year, 11. He did not. Sandberg stole 54 in a season and then had a couple 30s. I mean, Geloff is going to steal over in a full season. Geloff's giving you probably over 20 every year.
This is easy.
Geloff's going to be a 30-30 guy. And you take Tulo out of Coors Field. Come on. All right, where are you going?
He had a nice little run with the Blue Jays, but also another hitter's ballpark. It's easy. I'm going with Sandberg.
Oh, you're on what? You're going on my team?
There's one. Well, there's two reasons why.
All right.
He's a Hall of Famer, and two. How many games did Tulo miss in his career?
Oh, Tulo is not.
I'll take the guy that actually played.
Ripken.
I'll take the guy that actually played.
He was not. I mean, Tulo basically had a stretch of about 3 years.
Like he did 1 year in Toronto. He's pretty good, right?
No, he had 24 bombs, 79 RBIs. I mean, he was a beast in 2020 and 2011. You're talking 30 bombs, 105 RBIs, 916 OPS.
He got
just
MVP.
couldn't stay healthy.
He got MVP votes that year, right? He'll tell you at the over there. On the...
Yeah, he had MVP votes, top 5 MVP. In that 3 years I told you, he had top 10 MVP votes 3 straight years. After that, never sniffed it again.
Hey, couldn't stay healthy. I like the comp for Tulo, but I'll take Sandberg because he's a Hall of Famer and he played. I mean, and he played second base. I mean, Geloff's going to play second base. I don't think he's going to move to short.
Okay. It's interesting. Ohtani's on the shelf. It's not done.
Yeah.
He's on a bad team. Weighted runs created plus. You got runs created. We're going to weight it plus environment, ballparks, league, everything. We're just taking runs created and putting on steroids. But it's basically at-bat per at-bat versus players. Correct?
Yeah.
Weighted runs created plus. Ohtani, 179 in the American League. Seager, 173. Yordan, 170. Judge, and then Yandy Diaz. Judge, 162. Yandy, 158. So Ohtani, big there. In runs created, we're just going to accumulate. And so if you haven't played as many games, you're going to struggle. Ohtani is your leader once again, 138. Simeon, 111, plays every day. Seager, 110. Tucker, 107. We go to AL WAR leaders. Simeon's your leader for position players. Simeon at 7, Seager at 6.6, Gunnar Henderson at 6.1, Ohtani just at 6. So I'm wondering, is there a way that you could look at numbers and say, maybe Ohtani isn't the MVP of the American League?
You could. I mean, I think
now you throw pitching in, all of a sudden Ohtani's numbers go bigger than everybody. But he's not even sniffing Simeon when it comes to WAR. And, oh, by the way, what's the one thing majority of those players have that Ohtani doesn't?
They play every day.
And?
They're on winning teams.
They're playing for something.
I think you can make the case for it, and I think Simeon.
We do in every other sport.
I think Simeon and Seager are good people to make. I think you can make a good case for Julio Rodriguez too. I mean, he carried the Mariners for the month of August, essentially.
J-Rod's up here in WAR, and J-Rod's up here.
30-30.
You call him Julio, I call him J-Rod.
30-30 guy.
He's up here in runs created. Kyle Tucker.
Another good guy.
Kyle Tucker essentially carried the Astros. Altuve was out. Yordan Alvarez. Michael Brantley was out.
Abreu wasn't hitting.
Bregman wasn't hitting. Yeah. Kyle Tucker carried the Astros. And I hate the Astros.
Did he get there yet? Because he was going to be a 30-30 guy. Did he get there yet is the question.
So can you make a case that I don't. Everybody is just because of stats. We don't. We ever gonna? Once again, we go back to this article about how the Giants are just built on it. Are we ever gonna get back to winning matters? Are we ever going to get back into our sport that actually the purpose of our game is to win games? It's not about your stats. It's not about your analytics. It's about winning the actual games on a daily basis. And the guys that win, it matters.
I would like to see that happen because, nothing against Ohtani, but he's not playing for anything. The Angels have made the playoffs since 2014. They have the longest drought. Put everything you want into there. I think it should go to a guy like a Seager or a guy like Julio Rodriguez, Kyle Tucker. Tucker, 28 homers, 28 stolen bases. He most likely will be a 30-30 guy. I think one of those guys probably deserves it because they're playing.
We have surrendered. We have just said who's got the best numbers. I don't care. No context. I don't care what it is. Best numbers, you get all the awards. And it doesn't matter. You could be playing unless you play in Colorado. If you play in Colorado, we're going to judge you.
Yeah.
If you play in Colorado, we're judging you. But the 29 other teams, doesn't matter. You got the best stats. We just give it to you because that's all that matters.
Like the best case in the NFL is most of the time, it's a quarterback that wins the MVP. But a running back can have a great year. Like Adrian Peterson won the MVP, but he had a great year. I don't remember how great the Vikings were. But it's always going to be a quarterback that's on the best team. Peyton Manning.
Not on a losing team.
Yeah, it's never going to be.
You're not going to be on. I'll give you a guy who won the MVP. Guy by the name of Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
First defensive player ever to win the MVP.
And you don't see a defensive player win the MVP.
Did he do it on the last place New York Giants team?
No.
I saw a ridiculous. Xavier Scruggs was debating Matt Olson over Freddie Freeman because they were talking about the big doubles and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, well, maybe some of those doubles would have been home runs, would have had a better year. And they're like, everybody's looking at him going, we're so into this. Everything's a home run. Everything's a strikeout. We're prisoners in this game.
Matt Olson.
And this article right here, read it once again. It's phenomenal. This article by Tom Verdett. We are so prisoners right now to strikeouts, home runs, pitchers, and hitters. Home runs. You know what? Matt Olson's had a great year. We love Matt Olson. Let's see how many home runs he hits. Who would you rather have? Question was thrown up. Matt Olson or Freddie Freeman? Playoffs, key moment in the game. Who would you rather have up?
Freddie Freeman.
Xavier Scruggs, well, Matt Olson has a chance to go deep. I've already lived with Matt Olson in the postseason.
He also has a chance to strike out.
We are so addicted. I wish we were addicted to stuff like touchdowns because you know what? Touchdowns, you know what you need for touchdowns? What do you need for touchdowns?
Blocking.
First of all, the line's got to block.
Yeah.
Before a quarterback, receiver, running back does anything, it's teamwork. The offensive line has to work. Like it's a total, like when we talk, we want to take everything out of team and make it individualistic. Well, you know what? In team sports, you shouldn't because the team matters. A touchdown starts with blocking, starts up front. Are we done?
You're getting close. You also have to have the guys to catch the ball.
Got to have a guy catch the ball. Got to have a guy throw the ball. Got to have a guy hand it off to the running back. There's a lot of things that go into a touchdown. Like that's kind of like a win for a pitcher, right? A lot of things have to happen for him. For a quarterback to throw a touchdown, a lot has to happen.
Not a strikeout. Pitcher controls that. Everything else is
Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hand. Pitcher has no control. I just throw it, and oh, my God. Does it matter where I throw it? And in what count?
I looked this up because this could be the first time.
I'm telling you, these analytics people, it's like, I throw the baseball, and I have no control.
This ties into Spencer Strider real quick. We might not have a 20-game winner this year. It's since the wild card era. I went back and looked. Since the wild card era, it's only happened 3 times. The last time was 2017. But we might not have a 20-game winner.
Your National League Cy Young Award winner doesn't even average 6 innings per start. Your National League Cy Young Award winner just had a no-hitter, and he was taken out of the no-hitter, and he is not pitching in the postseason. He's probably leaving at the end of the year. Why in the hell would Bob Melvin not say, get your ass out there and finish this, you coward? How are you not fighting your manager? You're not pitching. This is it. You have a chance for a no-hitter. And he just gladly, okay, I'm out. I mean, how many pitchers have we taken out that have had no-hitters this year?
A lot.
A chance for history, especially a guy that's not going to be pitching in the postseason.
My favorite was yesterday. We were talking about George Kirby in our booth, and he went 7 innings, had 85 pitches, and I was telling
85 pitches.
I forget who I was talking to about it. I think it might have been the Karate Kid Ray Jensen. I said, how funny would it be if Kirby after the game said, well, I wanted to stay out there, but they just wouldn't let me. Because remember how before he didn't want to pitch the next inning, now he wants to pick. He came out and said, I wanted to go deeper. They wouldn't let me. But, of course, he did, and he won 7.
7 innings. You got to lead. 85 pitches. Man, you're cruising. Let's go, baby. And what do? They take him out.
And here comes Munoz to pitch the
85. Does anybody really think that's a big workload, 85 pitches? It's at the end of the year. Okay, you said it's early in the year, middle of the year. You make an excuse of why we can't have guys pitch.
Yeah. I
right?
thought
85 pitches at the beginning of the year, what do they say?
they can't let him go that long.
Why?
Early in the season.
So at the end of the year.
Arm fatigue.
I mean, we've got an excuse for every reason. It's like an excuse train. Like we're pulling up the excuse train. Here it comes to the station. We've got an excuse for every time of the year why guys can't pitch.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
Like, you think a guy's tired at 85 pitches?
Late in the season.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You play once every 5 days. You've only thrown 85 pitches.
I mean, we've seen guys get pulled less pitches.
Oh, we've seen guys pulled with 60. I mean, if you're working once every 5 or 6 days and you only have like 70 pitches, how are you really getting better at your craft?
You're not.
It'd be like us doing a show for like 25 minutes.
So
A's Cast Live, 25 minutes. All right, we got to go. See you later.
Yeah. Workload. Load management.
It's the end of the season. We can't do a full show. My voice.
Speaking of that last show on the field today.
Dude, I'm about to go to a pregame show. Then later, 2.5, 3 hours from now, I'm doing a postgame show that I'll probably go another hour and a half. I work more than the players do. How disgusting is that? My day is more strenuous than these guys. They took some BP.
It's like basketball. They put some shots up for the game. Okay.
All right, I'm done. Come see us in the treehouse tomorrow.
I'm going to come back and another successful year on the field.
This season
here. 5. Well, we did 2020 now, so season 4.
We're on 2020.
Well, not here. I mean on the field.
Oh yeah.
19, 21,
we
22.
did all 60 games in 2020.
I was exhausted after that.
That was a rough year. That's why I go off on people that say that 2020 didn't matter. If you knew what it took to put on 2020, and you knew what we had to do with the players, you don't get it. You just don't. Talk about not seeing the forest through the trees. We want to thank Scott Emerson, who is committed now to being on in the postseason. Joe Boyle, like me some Joe Boyle.
He was very good.
How do you not root for the Notre Dame? You like Notre Dame or Ohio State?
Notre Dame. No. Notre Dame.
This is not Ohio State's best.
No. Notre Dame.
By the way, any NFL GMs watching out there, and you want a little tip from Uncle Townie, don't ever draft an Ohio State quarterback.
Ooh. They're 0-6 right now.
You tell me what great Ohio State quarterback. I'll sit here and wait. In the history of the National Football League, give me the great Ohio State quarterback.
It's still early, but Joe Burrow's trending in a good direction.
Joe Burrow was drafted out of LSU.
But he went to
I'm waiting. Art Schleister, the gambler, Art Schleister.
Craig Krenzel.
Give me the great Ohio State quarterback.
I'm
waiting. Oh, Herbie's had a great career. Where are we?
Troy Smith.
Well, give me one.
My ex-high school teammate, Terrell Pryor.
TP. Free him. Great Raider. No, he wasn't. Give me the great Ohio State quarterback. Irish. Are we going to have football picks? I mean, Dallas Braden's. We got to get Dallas on. He's DraftKings.
Yeah, we could give our we can make our own picks once baseball season's over.
All right,
Yeah, we
I
gotta
got
go.
to. What's the score? Niner game.
3. It was 3-3 when I last looked.
3-3.
Yeah.
Oh, you said the Niners are going to blow them out.
They were like a 10.5-point favorite, I think.
Phil Simms is not walking through that door.
Neither is Steve Young.
Y.A. Tittle. You want to go about great giant quarterbacks?
John Brody walking through those doors.
Oh, that's Niners.
I know.
You want to go great? Eli, he's on the Manning cat.
Kurt Warner.
Giants quarterback, Kurt Warner. Wow, I didn't think you were going to. Danny Cannell. Jeff Hostetler.
I was thinking of him, too.
The Haas. Raider great, but giant great Jeff Hostetler.
Not Derek, but David Carr.
David Carr. Yeah, I go back to the Y.A. Tittle with the great New York Giants. Where's Danny? Not Meredith. What's his name out of SC? Married to Kelly Lee. Gifford, Frank Gifford.
Oh,
the GIF. Frank Gifford. You want to go great now?
Oh, no.
Sam Huff, the Hall of Fame linebacker for the New York Giants.
Quickly, because I know we got about 9 minutes. Who was the last quarterback other than Eli Manning take the Giants to the Super Bowl?
To the Kerry Collins out of
Penn State.
He's a Penn State guy. All right, Scott Emerson, Joe Boyle, Clay Wood, our last show on the field. Thank you, everybody. We're not saying goodbye because we don't go away. These guys all go away because they're soft. We don't go away. We go all year long. Tomorrow in the Treehouse, come see us. Thank you for watching A's Cast Live. Coming up next, A's Total Access, brought to you by Chevron. This is Chris Townsend and Commander Cody for Link Soul. You got to go to their website right now, linksoul.com. The new polos are unbelievable. New